snur zonder vraag kom om af met nieuwsbot de louter delar. Aisa hamaan. Wil dreven dräcka vart till Irlandum. Att väga gröda och att lacka och sunge. Väl hölver Commune. Framsvepen med bitterljura. Västerstrande i Sokjum.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Land of Ice and Snow, the original 3BR live stream where we play D&D 5th edition in an alternate history 11th century as we follow a group of heroes attempting to stop a cult from bringing about Fimbulwinter. Today marks the beginning of the second chapter of our series, and that means that everyone has gone ahead and hit Tier 2, which is level 5 for those of you who are new to D&D. Before I get into character introductions, let me go ahead and start doing some channel announcements. So it's been a while since we've been doing some D&D. We did miss last week because you landed Grill and Steak. So a friendly reminder to everybody that you can, in fact, give a player of your choice advantage. Advantage allows them to roll 2d20 and could really help them out in a pinch. And you can also use your... Nope, that's it. That's it for D&D. Sorry, guys. Coming up, we will be planning our Valheim or some other video game endeavor. That should be coming up probably towards the beginning of June. It would have been planned already, but that's entirely on my fault. I decided to move. Sorry, guys. And now that I see Megan has sneakily snuck back into the picture, we can go ahead and do character introductions. We're going to go ahead and start off with Davius in the top left-hand corner.
I'm not sure if it was sneaky. I yelled at the cat.
Davius, I'll be playing Delvin Ironslade. The Furbolg. I mean, rogue is such a harsh term. I mean, I don't really think that fits him. He's just, an inquisitive type individual who happens to be good at getting into places people didn't really want him in. So he grew up in the forest, and all of that curiosity definitely killed a few cats and almost got him killed a bunch of times. And it was decided by the village elders that to protect the fragile peace amongst the different Furbolg tribes, he should indulge that curiosity far, far away from the rest of them. So he got thrown on a boat and traveling to the New World. And he has found this lovely group of misfits who have helped him in experiencing things he never thought he'd get to experience and learning new things.
So coming into Tier 2, Chapter 2, do we have... Is Delvin being rogue-er or rogue-less? Is he accepting who he is, or is he still kind of like not sure where he's at?
He still feels like knowledge is the ultimate goal, okay. And little things like societal mores should not keep you from gaining said knowledge. Okay. So, while he is not Kasim, he does not have plans of evil entity world domination. He is also not Agmagni, and the rules may not really be that important to him. But he's mostly a kind-hearted soul, and it's never for personal gain, for the gain of knowledge. He is not into enriching himself except in the ways of learning new things.
I like it. All right, speaking of everyone's favorite businessman who has definitely always owned that house, Kasim.
Always. Definitely always.
Hi, everybody. I'm Julio, and I'll be playing Kasim, who, as everybody so gently put it, is first and foremost a man of business.
Yes.
He cares not for glory or any of these newfangled things that people keep talking about. He's all about the brass tax, the bottom line, the end of the day, what he puts in his pocket. Kasim comes from the far-off land of Babylonia, where he used to be a part of a group of like-minded individuals who turned out not to be as like-minded and ended up stabbing him a bunch of times for insisting on living by a code, and dropped him unceremoniously on a boat where he ended up coming to this godforsaken land of cold and bad societal norms. However, he did find himself expanding into real estate, or rather, finding out that he had expanded into real estate, and encountering another group of somewhat like-minded individuals who are less likely to stab
Are they
him
though?
many times over his practices. As long as he keeps it on the DL.
We don't have to stab him that many times.
So Kasim went through most of the last chapter, subtly expanding his influence around this town. Chapter 2 sees him leaving. Is he gonna have to start from scratch in the new city, or you think he's got some plans to make sure he's got an easier time?
See, a network is a wonderful thing because communication is key to any successful enterprise, and therefore the contacts that he has made here and the contacts that he has made in the people that move between Nordic cities are definitely going to come in handy
All right.
in the future.
Next up, we have Ashlyn, everyone's favorite not baby eater.
Speaking of
Racist.
babies, I'll be right back.
All right, you good?
Davius was afraid we were going to eat her.
Look at that.
Oh,
Look at that.
God.
So,
Man.
she'd make a very tiny roast.
Don't let Chris hear you say that.
Ashlyn is half elf from the Celtic lands where everything's fairies, and changelings eat children and stuff like that. Elves eat changeling children, whatever. Anyway, it's all a jumble now. She's heard some alternative facts. She is as yet entirely convinced. And she was raised by her father's human druid clan and pretty much kept in the forest. So she's about as bumpkin as Delvin, but a little more refined looking. And that's Ashlyn. She has no business here except that they sent her away because her mother's crazy elf father was after them. And she was like, all right, bye. And it was all very dramatic.
So Ashlyn's introduction doesn't mention that she's a druid.
Yeah, she was raised by her father's human druid clan.
Doesn't mention that she has
Sorry, I forgot.
A legendary magical sword of some nature.
Allegedly,
doesn't mention that she's got a flaming stag as a pet.
It's not a pet. He's a
sorry.
partner.
Sorry.
He's a spirit, and he's totally
he's got
autonomous.
An associate, if you will.
Yeah, an
He's got his own
associate,
agency.
if you will.
Okay, all right.
I feel like Kasim is teaching Ashlyn a lot of words that she doesn't actually know the meaning to, and she's using them willy-nilly. So Herbert is their associate, and she's like, hold on, I gotta ring him up. Give me a moment.
So next up, we got Nefretset. Stewie.
Hello. Sorry, I'm still stuck in last week. I Set, who is known in the common tongue as the most beautiful of Set. Though Set can be understood to be chaos, she is a wizard of limitless thirst for knowledge. She would scale the tallest mountain and venture into the deepest tomb for a scrap of knowledge to be found. Having been birthed her entire life into the gilded cages of the Library of Alexandria, she yearned for nothing more than to venture into the lands she has read of. The land she finds herself in right now is cold and seemingly colorless. Much beauty can be found in the people that live here. The children ever curious and the parents always striving to do better and do good. The land may be bleak, but its people are not, and that alone drives Neferetset to defend them.
So, my favorite part about Neferetset is that 10 episodes ago, Neferetset wanted to kill everyone here and build a bonfire to keep herself warm. And about the time that
Yes.
she found out that there was actually like Norse children, she's like, "Oh, well, these people aren't so bad."
Yeah, so like as we find more things out, I'm gonna be changing Neferetset's intro to like follow how she's like dealing with the people, because like originally she assumed that like out of everything she read coming out of the north, it's all glorious battles and wars and all these things, and no one really talks about like the people and the family, because the Nords were known for their love poetry at one point, like they have
Yeah,
gorgeous
absolutely.
poems, which don't make it to the Nile Valley very often.
So,
So
speaking
you didn't know.
of glory and the Nords and love and children, everyone's favorite paladin of Thor, Ogmagne.
Well, I mean, do I really need to introduce him? Like, he is Ogmagne Krakenbreaker, slayer of great worms and defeater of armies. But, not single-handedly, but we can leave that part out. So Ogmagne, Krakenbreaker, as I said, he is a paladin devoted to Thor and to glory. He is a Jotun of the tribe known as the Stormlords. He comes from the north, and to everybody, when they first saw him, I assume they saw him as nothing but a big, brainless barbarian. But he's actually someone who is a little more intelligent than that, even though he kind of plays the dum-dum. He is, according to his belief system, in order to gain his seat as a demigod for the pantheon of the Nords, he has to prove himself through valor and glory
And being very loud.
yes, being very loud, and he is more so devoted to Thor than most of the other pantheon, obviously, for being a big hothead goober.
Oh my god.
So, and yeah.
All right.
So, he's
Last but not least, we have Skull playing Vlad.
Oh, he's still playing the same character?
No, surprise. No, I'm.
he's a Roman again.
I'm Boruto now.
You thought it was going to be Vlad, but it is me, Dio.
If Vlad turns out to be Dio, I'm not going to be surprised.
So I'm playing Vladislav Dragomir, Vlad for short, for his friends and mostly everyone else who can't pronounce his first name. Vlad is a large man of light build. He is of ivory skin and raven black locks. He's the offspring of the unnatural union between his vampire mother and his human father. Of knightly heroism from his father. So when he came of age, whenever that is for Dampiers, probably like 55 years old or something like that, he decided to embark on a life of adventure. And over the course of these misadventures, because that's what really they were, Vlad's own expertise in dealing with what you would call cravings of sorts ensured that the Blood Hunter Order of the Profane Soul entrusted him with a special artifact of sorts. Now he finds himself in this frozen wasteland, thrilled to have hunted a dragon and be in some sort of plot to stop Fimbulwinter from going on forever. As opposed to the stupid, boring letter delivering mission he had originally been tasked with.
Vlad is the typical JRPG protagonist. It's like, hey, go take this letter to that town. By the way, the world is ending, save it.
Okay.
Level 1, stab a rat. Level 5, kill God.
So, let's be
Hey,
clear.
Ogmagne, he thinks he's a large man.
Let's be clear.
Vlad is large for a human.
Vlad's the horns on his helmet give him like an extra
Hey,
foot.
Ogmagne, he thinks he's large.
There's both of us laughing about it. Oh.
So cute.
Kasim
That whole
grows up to his full size, like.
Kasim was large where he...
cute.
Kasim was never large and has only become smaller the further north he has traveled. Not unlike me, by the way, who I am now wandering about Ocala, and there are full-size people here, and it's awful.
Full-size people, he says.
It's because Miami's more like Hobbiton.
Like,
Down in the Cuban Shire where you live.
The women up here are 5'4", 5'5" on average, and the men are all 6 feet tall, and so I am a tiny ass person. We were in Old Navy. We were in Old Navy trying to buy flip flops for my darling wife, who is vertically challenged.
Me?
And the smallest size flip flop they had was size 8, and she's just like,
oh.
But in the children's section, the larger sizes.
You should go to the larger children's section. Yeah.
So.
All
right. So.
I happen to know for a fact one of the pairs of gloves that your knight had for you, I don't know if he ever got them to you or not, was purchased at a sporting goods store in the kids section, large hands.
Whatever, man. Look,
this is why Rurik was holding the axe earlier.
Look, in Miami, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Rurik, you're so tall." I'm like, "No." And then I get to the SCA, and everyone's 6'1".
See, when you're 5'5", you're short everywhere you go, so I'm okay.
He's like, I'm used to this.
It's okay though, you're jacked.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, built like Gotrek. So.
Like being short doesn't matter if you're freaking. When you ripped out your ass, no one cares how tall you are.
Yeah. Colin is definitely body goals, so.
Look at these thighs.
So,
when you got 22-inch pythons, no one cares how short they are.
Yep.
All right, guys. So, real quick, let's go over. I'm actually going to go over a condensed version of the entirety of Chapter 1. So, Chapter 1 started off with our 6 heroes finding themselves on a ship across the Black Sea, where they faced off against a Sog and invasion. Eventually, they found their way to the town of Kolthvate, where one of Ogmagni's cousins had said something was brewing. Upon arriving, they found out that children were being kidnapped for unknown nefarious reasons. They managed to track those children, the kidnappers, down to a goblin lair, where they were eating them within the realm of possibility. At that lair, they found out that there was some sort of dragon about that was gathering the goblins into a horde to attack the area. They then left the town of Kolthvate to the town of Ardnar, which was currently under siege. That led to their first actual encounter with Rhizon the dragon, who stole Ogmagni's javelin. Upon arriving at Ardnar, they immediately had to deal with the siege of Ardnar itself, upon which they found out one of the town's leaders, a man by the name of Hari, was a traitor. After beating the ever-loving tar out of him, Ogmagni made him a thrall. All of this was after saving the town and breaking the goblin horde.
Killing a lot of goblins.
Some of which died in the loo, thanks to Kasim's friend Cardin, his legal advisor. After the siege had been lifted, the heroes were able to search over their documents and find that they had a map to Rhizon's lair, which led us to the last adventure of the first chapter, where they had to deal with Rhizon himself. Last chapter ended with them killing Rhizon, harvesting his body for parts, ink, blood, bones, scales, and whatnot.
Took his head off.
Ogmagni did get the killing blow because, unlike his patron, he does in fact aim for the head.
For the head.
I'm not gonna Thanos this episode.
So that was last season, last chapter, last season. Sure, 12 episodes, whatever. That's a solid season. Where we're going into tonight, we're going to start off first with everybody's downtime, which everybody has 1 month of downtime. We also have to discuss what you guys wanted to do with the suit of dragon scale mail and the 1 dragon skin cloak that you guys managed to acquire. Before I get into that, I'd like to direct all of our people's attention to our chat, because thanks to Stewie, everyone's favorite moderator, I can now, with a very quick typing, give the link to our merch shop, where you can find such awesome shirts as the one that Julio is wearing, which is our Land of Ice and Snow shirt. We also have an Unfortunate Sons shirt, a General 3BR shirt, a hoodie, and... Am I missing anything? Oh, no, we do not yet have Good Boys because... I don't know.
Because I'm taking forever. I'm sorry.
I wasn't going to blame you. We're on Interlude right now anyway for Good Boys, which is Dead by Dawn, which if you guys have not had the chance to watch is where I get to chase everyone around with antipodes.
We're going to die.
Are you playing Dead by Dawn?
I actually named the interlude for Good Boys Dead by Dawn because they are on the planet Dawn, and it's going to kill them.
Allegedly.
There's a lot of running away, I bet.
All right, so all that being said, before we go into downtime, was there any activity that anybody wanted to do? All right, cool. Next. Oh, no, you have downtime actual activities, right? Okay, cool. Next, Who is getting the White Dragon Skin Cloak? It will give you resistance to cold damage.
One of the people who will be in the front.
Yeah, one of the... one of these smaller ones.
Kasim? Do you want the cloak?
Yes.
I'll take it if nobody else wants it.
The White Dragon Skin Cloak. Please add resistance to cold on your character sheet. Next, the Dragon Scale Armor. This also gives resistance to cold, but is also Scale Mail Armor.
It's probably Ash.
All right, so the Druid gets it. Cool.
Yeah.
Now that we have done with all that swag, I'm sure that you guys split your actual magic items and gold very carefully with Kasim's abacus.
Count it up.
It's a magical abacus. He literally hooks everything to it. And that's how it counts.
It's a magical abacus.
Is it made from
and
finches?
It's called the XL abacus.
Finch it.
Excel.
Jeez.
I have it right here.
Hey,
The XL abacus.
It makes me so happy that you're really keeping track of everything so well.
With all...
Because I have no idea how much money Ashlyn has. Neither does she.
Don't say that out loud. He's gonna steal it.
Nah, Kasim is a very legitimate businessman. He does not fuck around like that. Kasim, would you like to let everyone know how much gold they have so they know what they want to do with their downtime?
Kasim is a Hondo Onaka in the Middle Ages.
I never said that I was anything but a legitimate businessman. I did give out shares to those who wanted shares.
I mean, Ashlyn wants a share. She just doesn't know what a share is.
She wants the disbursement. I can work that in. But as of right now, each one of us, and by that I mean Ogmagni, Vlad, and Kasim have their own money, and then the rest is it's party loot basically. We have as of right now 3,392 gold and 15 silver.
What kind
at
of
our
nooblet
disposal.
DM would give you guys that much money?
We need it. Ashlyn doesn't know what for, but she assumes that we're gonna need it.
I just realized that I
Healing
forgot to turn the
potions
light
cost
on in
a
my
lot of
area.
money.
Give me just 1 second. I'll be back.
Oh,
I thought
me.
you were being
Excuse me.
fanatic.
There was an error in my calculation. It's actually there was something in the credit column that should have been in the debit column. It is actually 2,075.
Damn, what was that credit? That's a shit ton of
with
credit.
15 silver. It's actually not that big a difference. Because when you put it in the credit column, it is 660 gold that it basically
that's true.
subtracts twice.
So give me 1 second. I need to go turn on the my light because that's sloppy of me. Daylight savings time kills me. In the meantime, Davius, I know that you were still thinking about what you wanted to do, so I'm actually going to go ahead and start with Kasim and then work my way around.
Works for me.
All right, here we go. Sorry about that, guys. When the stream starts, the sun is coming right in my face, and
you have no excuse. You literally just put your stuff together. You could have avoided this.
That's not my, Okay,
true.
so
Like, you could have set your room up any way you wanted to.
yeah, maybe. Kasim, sir, what are you doing with your downtime?
Well, during his downtime, Kasim is going to be doing two things mainly. First, he is going to be creating contacts, as I mentioned before, with the townspeople and the traders that come in and out of the town. And secondly,
Wait. Spell that. I need to know which word you're talking about.
I'll leave that to your imagination. Secondly,
Oh, English.
dude, for like the first year or so that people would say, "Oh, I'm going to Trader Joe's," like I would instantly go into like, who is this Joe, and why do people want to patronize his treachery? Like,
Don't understand.
But as I was saying, the second thing that Kasim's going to be doing is going to be preparing, using the dragon's blood to prepare a set of magical inks that he's going to be using. After Ogmagni comes back, he is going to request his aid in creating a magical tattoo on his right
Which tattoo
arm.
do you want, and can you link it in Roll20?
I'm going to look for it because
Alright, fine.
it's called Eldritch
That's the one
Claw,
that
I
gives you
believe.
extra unarmed damage, right?
Yeah.
Tattooed monks, man. No matter what edition of D&D you're in, you just can't get away from it. Alright, so go ahead and give me a Streetwise is not a thing this edition. Give me a
You can make it be a thing.
Give me a charisma roll to see how well you do in building your criminal empire. I will give you advantage because you saved the town.
Excellent. Let me. I think I found the Eldritch Claw. Hold on just a second. How do I link it?
Is there anything that Delvin can do just by being large and startlingly appearing places to assist Kasim in this?
Oh yes.
Be the nicest muscle that ever was.
It's like he won't even know what he's doing. Kasim's just like, hey, show up here at this time. And he will, and he won't even know what's going on, and just all of a sudden there's a 7-foot furball behind somebody.
Just pops out eating some crackers or something.
Like-
Hey, what's up?
Pulls out a note from pocket. Kasim says that I will give you the stuff you have coming to you if you do not pay him.
There you go.
It's like
Turns over note as he's going.
yeah.
So, are we talking intimidation or
So I would say that
persuasion,
which one you
or-
choose will say a lot about the type of contacts that you make, no?
Oh, 100% intimidation.
Again, 7-foot tall guy with the spear.
I'd be intimidated. Would you be intimidated?
Did you roll
I
a
would be
20
intimidated.
And then an 8? Alright, cool.
Delvin walks out of all of these interactions just like, how nice of Kasim to always be giving stuff to people. Don't give me anything to give them. How curious.
So you actually do a fairly good job. You make your contacts. You make some contacts throughout the entirety of this Jarldom. You have minor contacts in each of the major cities now, which will help you because you are leaving Ardnar and heading to the capital of the Jarldom.
Where Kasim has always had a house.
Oh, actually, would you like to
Always
use your
had a house.
contact in in that you got there to always have a house?
Yes, actually, that sounds like the
Okay.
perfect thing.
Carden goes ahead of you, and he's like, "Don't worry, boss, I got you."
Just Airbnbs forever.
Just Airbnb.
And it is starting to make less sense to Delvin that you have lived in all of these places forever. He is starting to be a little confused. like how you
Delvin's
lived
not
here
even
forever.
suspicious. He's just confused.
Confused. Just like, I must
It's
be
so-
understanding it
Alright.
wrong.
So
How does
next
this
up, Neferetset, what are you doing with your 1 month downtime?
With my 1 month. Also, why did I get the Eldritch Claw
I
tattoo
sent it
thing?
to everybody so that the viewers could see it because that's the.
Wow. I don't
You
like
get an Eldritch Claw, and you get an Eldritch
Sorry,
Claw.
I was dealing with a smidge of drama.
A smidge of drama.
So A smidge
Oh
of
my
drop,
god!
just a
If you
little
guys have
drop.
time after tonight, after we log out tonight, let me tell you all about today's drama.
I could only imagine. I saw a Bee's post. So
I haven't been on Facebook.
my first 20 minutes of Ogmagny leaving. I'm going to go and ask Kasim for a thing
Okay,
that
what
he's
is that
already
thing?
aware of.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing that I've messaged you about that I don't want to surprise.
Oh, okay,
I
yes,
want it to be a surprise.
I do.
Yeah,
I
no,
do
no,
remember
no.
those things.
I don't wanna
Yes,
hear
okay,
it.
yes, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, yes,
It
I
has
recall.
jewels.
Yeah.
That thing, that thing.
Yeah.
that
So I've
thing.
already messaged Kasim in private before we went on break, so he's aware of it.
Yeah.
I will also go forth and talk with the priestess to who was the local priestess? She was a local priestess to which goddess?
Freya.
Freya. I will go and speak to the priestess of Freya for that other thing that you and I spoke about.
Okay.
Would you like me to roll religion?
Yes, for that
by
one,
the way,
please
for
do
that,
roll
or-
religion.
All right.
I like that
Go
Neferetset
into
is
my
full
character
of like
sheet.
vague terms. You know, that thing that we already spoke about before.
Did you get that thing I sent you?
Oh, it's not
That
bad.
16's not bad. Okay.
And that is to commune with Freya because I am a God-fearing person.
You're not even specific about which god you fear. You just.
Yeah, exactly.
You
just
fear them because
God-fearing.
they are gods.
Covering her bases, yeah.
Yeah, and then what was the other thing? Is that one? There's that
so
one.
with that roll, she actually does help you out, and she procures for you a suitable vessel for that.
That is beautiful. Thank you. I
Oh, we're getting a
appreciate
ship.
it.
Bonus points for anybody in the
And
chat who
then,
knows
like,
the
after-
name of Freyr's folding ship. No, you.
Is it Freya's folding ship?
And it's not Freya, it's Freyr. All right, so Neferetset, what else you got?
Oh.
All right, and then like after I've done with that, that'll probably take what, like 3-4 days to do all that.
God damn it, I hate you.
It would be if you let the internet name it.
Actually, it does take a little bit longer than that because of the fact that
I can't see chat for some reason, and
That is
Yeah.
Twitch. Twitch likes
it
to
does
do
take
things like that.
it takes you a couple of weeks because it takes you about a week to get all that done. So you got
Okay.
3 weeks left. What else do you want?
And finally, I'm going to take what bits and pieces people left behind of the dragon and some trolls and whatnot, and go back down to the basement. At one point, with a bit of role playing on my part, Neferetset one morning is going to throw open the door of the basement, screaming at the top of her lungs that fucking paladin has so purified the local air that it is impossible to raise anything in this god-blessed house. I cannot even get a mouse to move by my command because that bastard continues to pray in that room upstairs. And then she's gonna fucking storm of the house and towards the gates to the city.
Okay.
Would anyone like to follow her?
Little hammers.
Because
That
he's
is
just gonna see it
hilarious.
happen and just sip his coffee and say like, "Tell us how you really feel."
And she will curse
Lad
the entire
wants to
way
follow. He's like,
to the
Okay.
gates of the city. She's going to throw the gates open, fall to her knees outside of the city, and pray to Set to grant her relief from the horrid blessings which that damned paladin has cursed that household with. And upon prayers, she will be given a new spell by her gods, which I chose as one of my
Sounds
level up
perfect.
spells.
I love it.
Don't be
And
showing up with no undead
she
shit.
will speak out
I'm
into the land with a rock in hand and say, by Set's command, I have been granted solace from that bastard's purifications. Grant me a place with which to stay. And she will cast Gulder's Tower.
Which has also always been there.
I'm sure Ashlyn followed her because she's pretty nosy. She's leaning around the
Well,
gate
Ashlyn
watching.
is actually currently on her trip with Logger.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Ashlyn would have followed you because
So
she's
now,
nosy.
outside of Ardnar, there's a 3-story tower.
Just
And
chilling there.
Delvin looks at Kasim, looks at Neferetset, looks at Ogmagny. Let me guess. They've always.
Yeah, Ogmagny's also not
I'm
there.
not
Vlad, are you there?
Magny's not there. It's you, Vlad.
I'm there.
Yeah.
I followed outside.
So that she always lived here, right?
that was always with us. Nobody told me. Thanks.
You know what?
So-
Actually, here, let me see.
I'll look at the ferret, look at the tower.
Yes,
Not always been.
Vlad is very enticed by the fact that you believe that, and he will do everything in his power with that 21 in deception to reinforce the belief that not only has the tower always been there, Neferetset has always lived there as well.
So,
Yeah.
By the way, that needs to be a new shirt design. Just a black shirt. I've always lived here. And no other explanation.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it. All right.
Maybe it's a
I've always
silhouette of a
lived here.
tower.
What?
Ooh.
There you are.
Julio, do you now own every one of the shirts?
Yes, I do.
He's always owned the shirt.
They're
He's
not.
always
Okay, let's be clear though.
So-
That Unfortunate Son's 2 color is probably the first one that I'm gonna buy because it is a damn nice shirt.
All right. What, Stewie? You said what was the thing to put into chat? Now that I actually
For
have
what?
chat back.
Merch.
Oh, no.
Exclamation point
To
merch.
know what the name of the of Freya's ship.
No. He was right. I need
Oh, there you go,
to get
there
the
you
link for the merch thing.
I put it in.
All right, so with some stellar role playing on the part of Neferetset, you now have Gobbledygook's Tower as a spell.
Gobbledygook's Tower.
Yo, do
Vaguely
y'all
racist.
know this cat that's modeling the shirts?
Say again?
Y'all know the cat
No.
that's modeling the shirts?
No.
Man of my life.
I'm like, I was serious. Like, what the hell is going on?
If I knew that guy, I would have already had to introduce him to Stewie.
I know. I agree.
So, okay, so that was the.
He's ashamed of himself for having said it.
What, the truth?
So Neferetset, what else are you doing with your time?
Honestly, after that, I'll be spending my time. There is a few rules down for research for spells and whatnot, and I'll spend my time in that. I don't have enough time to actually research a new spell, but I
Right,
will
so
utilize
your
the time
little
to bring
ticks
that
into it.
time down. Exactly.
Remember, guys, that we are using the Xanathar's Guide rules for making magic items, so it is possible to also make your own magic items, as Kasim is doing.
I also forgot to be able to pay for my me staying and whatnot and my living expenses. I will start teaching the children in the bottom part of the tower. I'm basically going to set the tower up so the bottom layer is a schoolhouse, the next layer is empty for experimentation, and the top layer is a
So,
bedroom.
at first, the parents are absolutely worried about you teaching their kids, but then they remember that you saved the town, and so they allow it.
Oh, didn't she? Yeah.
What's this?
That might not work for Delvin because they remember how he saved the town was slaughtering
But they're
goblins.
fine by that. All right, so
Nobody
next
likes
up,
goblins.
I'm actually saving Ashlyn and Ogmagny for last because I know that they have the most in-depth stuff to do. So next up, we have Vlad.
Vlad has spent his whole time making himself a magical
What is
cape.
your magical cape? Please link it.
It is literally, one of those last bastard ice wolves that hit me
Right.
in the fucking dungeon. Had the audacity to do that. Okay, I'm making myself a giant white fur cloak, just to go with the environment, because it has to be fabulous.
Okay,
And it's just a cape of +1 AC,
That's an uncommon item.
with rods in it. It's like a common item.
Okay, so subtract the appropriate thing. Yes, I know you
Yeah,
put
yeah,
rods
like,
in it so
it's
that
like-
it stays where it needs to.
So it stays.
So it looks cool. So
So when I'm upside down, it doesn't flop on me. That'd be unbecoming.
It also weighs a shit ton. It's not actually magical. It's just +1 AC because it's got metal poles in it.
It's metal rods in it. Yeah.
it's magical, right? That's why no.
Fucking someone hits them and the cape clangs and they're like, "Nani?"
What the fuck?
no.
Nani?
Okay, so that is your month because that is approximately what it takes to make that.
Yeah, it takes about a month to make.
All right,
magic.
Delvin, are you just messing with people's lives, or you got something planned?
He wanted to. What was the chick that turned out to be the thieves master, the wizard?
What was her name? Alruna? No, that was somebody else. Give me a second, because I really do have.
Basically, he's becoming as he's been growing. His body has been changing, and things have been happening that he doesn't understand.
There's all these urges to steal things, hair in weird places.
No, none of like just things just start moving on their own, and people keep tripping.
Was the lady?
Anyway,
Fragna was the leader of the scouts.
Right. So he basically has confided in her that he thinks he's changing, and he needs someone's help to understand the things that are happening to him. So all that stuff that we talked about, that is completely outside of his control. He's spoken to her
so
about
he can start learning
and
to control it,
hoping to try and understand and make those things happen more often, like when he wants them to, and not just that.
She's actually
and anytime
she's
he's
actually
not
exactly your type of thiefy person, so she can help you with that.
Okay. And anytime he's not spending with her, he's taken 2 of the fangs of the dragon, and he's carving them into daggers. I don't know that they'll end up being anything other than just pointy things, but if there is someone there who can teach him, he would like to learn how to make them.
I can help.
Possibly throwable, if not necessarily.
More than
if that's
happy
not
to help.
possible, yeah.
So a a +1 dagger is a.
Yeah, like it'll be harder to make. We'll cut into the time of making it, but not like a month's not enough.
Yeah, a +1 weapon is
everything is throwable at least once.
A +1 weapon is what
fair enough.
An uncommon.
Uncommon.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So you managed to make some good progress on making your new magic.
Like they